In the grand sweep of history, the levers of power have shifted. Nations once measured their might in gold bullion barrels of oil, the strength of their financial markets. Today, a new currency of power is emerging. It is forged not from metal or fossil fuels, but from silicon and light. This new currency is compute. The raw processing power needed to fuel the artificial intelligence revolution is now the single most critical strategic asset for any nation seeking to secure its future. The race to acquire and control this resource has begun, a silent, high-stakes competition that will define the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. This is the story of the great global compute gold rush of 2026. It is a story told in 4 parts. First, we will explore why the humble microchip has become the new global currency, an asset more valuable than oil. We will then journey inside the rise of national AI clouds, fortified digital fortresses designed to protect a nation's most sensitive data and intellectual property. Following this, we will witness the monumental trillion-dollar infrastructure boom, the largest coordinated global investment since the post-war era, as countries race to build the data centers and power grids of tomorrow. Finally, we will look ahead to the 2030 roadmap, charting the milestones that will determine the winners and losers in this new world order. The stakes could not be higher. At play is not just economic dominance, national security, the very fabric of global influence. The ability to train advanced AI models, analyze vast data sets, deploy intelligent systems across every sector of society is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity for survival and prosperity in the 21st century. The decisions made today, in the corridors of power and the boardrooms of tech giants, will ripple across generations. This is a quiet war, fought not with armies but with algorithms, architectures, supply chains, sovereign funds. This documentary will unpack the complex forces driving this unprecedented scramble for computational power. We will show how access to cutting-edge chips dictates the pace of innovation, how sovereign data strategies are reshaping digital sovereignty, and how the immense capital required is creating new geopolitical alignments. The central theme is clear and unavoidable. In an age where intelligence itself can be manufactured at scale, the means of its production becomes the ultimate prize. As we will see, the conclusion is inescapable. In the 21st century, sovereignty is measured in compute. As nations awaken to the strategic value of compute, a new, powerful imperative has emerged: data sovereignty. It's the fundamental recognition that a country's collective data, its economic transactions, its scientific research, its citizens' daily lives, is a priceless national asset, the digital lifeblood of a modern state. This realization has triggered a monumental shift away from the borderless ideals of the early internet and toward a new digital infrastructure strategy. This has given rise to the concept of the national AI cloud. These are more than just data centers. They are digital fortresses, engineered to keep a nation's most sensitive information and its most powerful AI models securely within its own borders. Because true sovereignty requires both physical control over the hardware and absolute legal jurisdiction over the data that resides on it. The era of casually entrusting national data to global commercial clouds, whose operations can be subject to foreign laws, is rapidly coming to an end. The motives are multifaceted, blending national security with economic ambition. At the forefront is privacy and national security. Governments are increasingly wary of foreign surveillance and the potential for external powers to access citizen data, corporate secrets, and state intelligence. By mandating that data be stored and processed on domestic infrastructure, nations can enforce their own laws and prevent unauthorized access, creating a legal firewall around their digital assets. This is also a powerful tool of industrial policy. A national AI cloud provides local companies, universities, and researchers with subsidized priority access to cutting-edge compute, leveling the playing field against global tech giants and fostering a vibrant domestic AI ecosystem. It is a direct investment in a nation's future innovative capacity and economic competitiveness. This drive for digital self-sufficiency is manifesting in a wave of new policies and massive public-private partnerships. Countries around the world are enacting stringent data localization laws, which legally require companies operating within their borders to store local data locally. Simultaneously, governments are pouring billions of dollars into partnerships with domestic tech firms and global cloud providers to construct these sovereign facilities. But these are not standard data centers. They are built to higher security specifications, often with physically air-gapped sections for the most sensitive government and military workloads, ensuring a complete, verifiable separation from the global internet. The technical architecture of these national clouds is a complex balancing act between security, performance, and autonomy. The foundational choice is control. Nations are specifying everything from the physical location of the servers to the citizenship and security clearance of the technicians who can access them. Legal frameworks are being constructed to ensure that no foreign court order or legal request can compel the handover of data stored within the sovereign cloud's perimeter. This creates a zone of legal immunity. This represents a fundamental re-architecting of the Internet's open, borderless ethos into a new model where digital territory is as clearly defined and fiercely protected as physical land. The digital drawbridge is being raised, and the fortress walls are going up. The investment story begins on the ground: concrete, steel, and silicon assembled into hyperscale campuses that function like factories for intelligence. Budgets break into 5 towering pillars: facilities, compute, power, network, and people. Facilities include land, seismic prep, shells and security, double fences, man-traps, and vault-style cages, often exceeding $1 billion per campus. Compute dominates the bill. Tens of thousands of GPUs and specialized accelerators arrive in waves, paired with high-speed interconnects and petabytes of flash storage. Cooling is now strategy, not plumbing. Chilled water loops, rear-door heat exchangers, and immersion tanks pushing PUE toward 1.2 in best-in-class builds. Power is the beating heart. Regions lock in long-term power purchase agreements, new substations, and redundant feeds to keep terawatts flowing. To de-risk volatility, operators blend renewables with firm capacity, battery farms for short bursts, gas peakers for spikes, and pilot projects for hydrogen backup. Networks bind the system. Thousands of miles of fiber-stitch campuses to cities and cable landing stations, with diverse routes and automatic failover. Subsea links become strategic choke points. Dual-homed paths and sovereign landing points reduce single-point exposure. Then comes people, the rarest resource. Scholarships, apprenticeships, and fast-track visas target power engineers, optical specialists, and ML ops teams. Operating costs are relentless. Energy can run 40 to 60% of OPEX, with staffing, maintenance windows, and dark fiber leases compounding the bill. Grid timelines are the new critical path. Interconnection queues stretch 24 to 48 months. Long lead transformers can take 18 to 36. Water and heat move to the boardroom. Closed loop and wastewater sourcing drive PUE down, while district heating turns waste heat into community assets. Procurement shifts to wartime footing, pre-buying transformers, switchgear, and fiber under framework agreements to bypass year-long queues. Financing stacks are layered: public grants and tax credits, green bonds and sovereign funds, plus long-dated project finance backed by take-or-pay compute contracts. Risk management spans export controls, zero-trust cyber hardening, and onshore critical spares with auditable provenance. Supply chains localize where it matters: fabs, OSAT transformers, and high-capacity cables, backed by second-source contracts for resilience. Site selection weighs flood and fire maps, water rights, proximity to renewables, and permitting speed, because geography now prices performance. The payoff is leverage. A mature sovereign stack lowers dollars per token, accelerates research, and pulls entire industries to the nodes that think fastest. Build cycles arrive in waves through 2030. Campus shells first, then compute fills, then grid and cooling expansions pacing each successive model generation. Success is measured in hard metrics: PUE at or below 1.2, WUE under 0.4 liters per kilowatt hour, 5 nines of uptime, and terabits per second east-west fabric. Governance matters: joint operating committees, strict SLAs, third-party audits, and sovereign compliance zones to partition workloads by law and risk. This is the trillion-dollar build-out: concrete and code, electrons and algorithms, financed and executed at national scale. And it is only the down payment on the 2030 roadmap that follows. The years to 2030 are critical. In this decade, the digital world order will be forged as nations follow a strategic roadmap of escalating ambition, investment, and technological deployment. Timeline: 2026-2027 lays the groundwork. Governments deploy massive funding packages, tens of billions earmarked to de-risk fragile semiconductor supply chains. This capital subsidizes domestic chip production, signaling a commitment to technological independence. In parallel, the first secure national AI cloud platforms come online. These digital fortresses host sensitive government data and run critical public services, establishing core sovereign infrastructure. Timeline: 2028-2029 marks a shift to aggressive expansion. The first domestically subsidized semiconductor fabs ramp up production, reducing reliance on foreign suppliers. Simultaneously, a massive build-out of energy infrastructure is commissioned to power the compute boom. Regional compute hubs are established, creating a distributed and resilient system. This network is designed to withstand supply shocks and meet surging AI demand from public and private sectors. By 2030, the vision matures. Advanced nations operate ecosystems of interoperable sovereign clouds. This allows secure data sharing and collaborative AI development with trusted international partners who share similar security standards. These platforms fuel mature generative AI ecosystems, giving rise to domestic search engines, personalized education systems, and sovereign drug discovery platforms that accelerate national health security. By now, policy frameworks have matured. Clear regulations on data privacy, AI ethics, and digital trade are in place, creating a stable environment for innovation while reinforcing strategic autonomy. Success hinges on a seamless public-private partnership, where governments set strategic direction and provide investment, while the private sector is empowered to build, operate, and innovate at speed. By 2030, the results are undeniable. The global balance of power has shifted, with geopolitical influence and economic dynamism now measured not by traditional assets, but by the scale and sophistication of a nation's sovereign compute capabilities. We stand at a pivotal moment, an inflection point as significant as the Industrial Revolution. The global order is being reconfigured, not by treaties or territories, but by teraflops and transistors. The race for compute sovereignty is the defining geopolitical contest of our time. The capacity to process information at scale and deploy advanced AI is the new bedrock of national power, economic prosperity, and global influence. The decisions made in this decade will echo for a century, creating a new hierarchy of nations. Any nation that fails to grasp the strategic importance of compute risks becoming a digital colony in an age dominated by AI superpowers. As this new age dawns, old metrics of power fade. A nation's strength is measured in its sovereign ability to turn raw data into strategic intelligence and decisive action. In the 21st century, sovereignty is measured in compute,